embarrassment of that. I never wanted to feel that way again.
After Joe Manganiello and Sofía Vergara announced their split last July, they stayed quiet about the details surrounding their divorce for quite a while. But just recently, Joe called Sofia out for allegedly lying about why their marriage fell apart. So what exactly have the exes been saying about each other? The truth about what Sofia revealed and why Joe accused her of being a manipulative liar is absolutely insane. So let's get into it. It's been a little over a year since the former couple broke the news that they were ending their marriage. According to People magazine, just 2 days after they released a joint statement about their split, Joe officially filed divorce paperwork. He cited irreconcilable differences as the reason he and Sofia had called it quits. For months, they continued to remain surprisingly silent, at least publicly, about what had actually caused them to break up. But earlier this year, Sofia finally opened up about the real reason she and Joe decided to go their separate ways. In January, Sofia was asked about where she was at in her personal life during an interview with Accuses, a Spanish newspaper. Not surprisingly, she mentioned that after 7 years of marriage and nearly 10 years together in total, she and Joe had recently divorced. Sofia claimed that their marriage had come to an end mainly because Joe, who is 5 years younger than her, wanted to have kids and she didn't. She said that she was 19 years old when she welcomed her son, Manolo, to the world, and she had pretty much raised him on her own. But it's been more than 30 years since she had a newborn, and she admitted that at this point in her life, she's ready to be a grandmother, not a mother. Sofia explained that because of her age, even if she had shared Joe's wish to add to their family, the odds of her being able to become pregnant wouldn't have been in her favor. She also felt like it wouldn't have been very fair to their hypothetical child because she felt like she was too old and didn't have enough energy and patience to be a new mom again. Sofia stressed that she has a lot of respect for people who choose to have kids when they're older than most parents typically are when they decide to expand their family. But she personally wasn't interested in going through all of the emotional and physical stress that tend to go hand in hand with fertility treatments and pregnancy. Not to mention, starting over as a parent to a newborn, this time in her 50s, just wasn't what she wanted to do with her life. Although Sofia's reasoning made complete sense, it's also understandable that sometimes people change their minds about things, including what they want their future to look like. If Joe realized that without a doubt he would never feel fulfilled in life if he didn't become a father, staying with Sofia would have probably resulted in both of them being unhappy anyway. However, in a recent interview with Men's Journal, Joe completely shut down Sofia's narrative that a disagreement over having kids was what caused them to end their marriage. He wasted no time in trying to set the record straight, and he didn't hold anything back. Joe claimed that Sofia's side of the story was simply not true. He explained that people just grow apart from each other sometimes. According to Joe's version of events, that's exactly what happened between him and Sofia, which is ultimately the reason why they decided to get divorced. Although Joe was really frustrated that Sofia had allegedly lied about what actually caused them to split up, he didn't even consider that to be the worst part. What had bothered him the most about her interview with Accuses was truly unbelievable. Joe revealed that it seemed as if Sofia had intentionally framed the conversation about their breakup to make it sound like it had all been his fault. He believed that she had tried to paint him in a negative light by speaking about the role he played in the demise of their marriage in such a shady way. Joe not only accused Sofia of lying about the reason they divorced, but also twisting the truth about a certain fact about him. For basically the entirety of their relationship, he had been transparent about wanting to have children, despite it being a hot topic in the press. Joe confessed that Sofia was being honest when she stated that he wanted to become a father. But even though that part was true, he felt like she had tried to put a toxic spin on it that was extremely hurtful. Sofia had claimed that her marriage to Joe had ended specifically because he wanted to have kids, and she didn't want to be an old mom. However, he explained that her alleged false narrative made it seem like he had been going through some sort of midlife crisis. Joe expressed that Sofia's interview remarks had portrayed him inaccurately and unfairly. He added that she had made it sound like he'd suddenly had a change of heart regarding having children and had given her an ultimatum that was honestly outrageous. Joe said that many people seemed to assume that he had blindsided Sofia about wanting to have kids, which wasn't true. He acknowledged that pregnancy could have been potentially unhealthy for her. He also argued that he had never been the kind of person to make crazy ultimatums like that. But that wasn't all. Believe it or not, Joe insisted that Sofia had known exactly how he felt about having kids since the very beginning of their relationship. What he said had happened almost as soon as they started dating was seriously unexpected. Joe admitted that he and Sofia had only been seeing each other for about a month when they had a very important talk. He had supposedly asked her to be totally honest with him about whether or not she ever wanted to try to have more kids. Joe explained that he told Sofia that he would understand if she was done having children and would respect her decision. He added that he just wanted to know how she really felt so that he knew if his dream of being a dad would or wouldn't be a possibility in their future. Joe said that he was also open with Sofia and that she was aware that he wanted to have kids. He allegedly promised her that he would never leave her for not wanting to have another child, or if they tried to have kids but weren't able to. What happened next was absolutely unreal. Joe revealed that Sofia wanted to have a family with him, so for a year and a half, they tried for a baby. Obviously, that didn't work out, and she ultimately made the choice not to have another child. But he claimed that he kept his word and didn't call it quits on their relationship because of her decision. Even though Joe had seemingly accepted that he and Sofia weren't going to have kids, it's clear that he never stopped wanting to become a father. According to People magazine, he recently appeared on an episode of the podcast Pod Crushed, and what he confessed was truly bizarre. Joe mentioned that he has 2 nieces and he loves being able to be their fun uncle, but he admitted that at some point he definitely wants to have children of his own. Fortunately, he and his girlfriend of almost a year, Caitlin O'Connor, are apparently on the same page when it comes to starting a family. As for Sofia, it sounds like she and her boyfriend, Justin Salomon, are also in agreement about their future together. In a recent interview with People magazine, she explained that when she was ready to date again, she really only had one major deal breaker. Sofia said that she knew that she didn't want to be in a relationship with a man who wanted to have kids. Luckily, Justin already has 2 children, a son and a daughter, that he shares with his ex-wife. It's pretty crazy that Joe finally broke his silence by calling Sofia out for allegedly lying about the reason their marriage fell apart. But thankfully, it sounds like both of them have moved on and are happily in love with their new respective partners. It'll be interesting to see if Joe and Caitlin plan on starting a family together anytime soon. But now that we've gotten into why he recently accused Sofia of being a liar, I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on his claim that she had twisted the truth in her interview in order to paint him in a negative light? Do you think Joe is being honest and he and Sofia really got divorced because they simply grew apart? Or do you believe her side of the story? Let me know in the comments below.